welcome back to the Triforce podcast. This time, not on the road.
No.
Not in a van, not in the tour bus, not in a tank.
Not in the tank or the bus.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Just
one day.
from the dad garage, the spare bedroom, and I don't know whereabouts are you, P-Flax.
Well, aren't you in a spare bedroom then?
Yeah,
He's in the mental hospital room again.
I'm in my office.
Right.
Yeah.
Is it got a bed in it?
The
It
nurse's
may have a bed.
Yeah.
You could say that it was a spare room in our house that was converted into an office. It has a bed if I grow weary from work.
And are you the type of person who collects a lot of paraphernalia and puts it up on a shelf and stuff in your spare room in your office?
Let me tell you something. I am, but the problem is I'm also very lazy, and I have the shelving unit here.
Yeah.
And I keep meaning to build it and rearrange the room, but I just never get round to it.
Yeah.
So I have all this shit just in boxes. And
So is the idea to put a little shelf with knickknacks
one day,
on it?
yeah, I'm going to
in
have
the background.
and I was going to put a whiteboard on the wall, and I was going to write things on it, something from chat. Like each time I'm streaming, like I'll put something on the whiteboard or whatever, so it sort of stays current.
Right, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like reminders or notes
Just
or
stuff.
just
Big
memes?
shout outs. Shout out
memes,
to Sephiroth.
Exactly,
69
that kind of stuff.
for the
that
big
kind of
donation and stuff. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's always funny. You see these sort of knickknackery shelves in the background. Sips is always. You had some in your office, didn't you? And it was just a sort of eclectic mix of crap that you'd either been given or picked up or been sent in the mail.
It is.
I feel like a lot of these shelves in the background of people are largely just full of tat and kind of crappy. Like, it's not a lot of thought gone into it. You know, like for example, I think with you it was an old Garrosh poster. Sips, do you remember an old Warcraft poster?
Well, I got a whole bunch of stuff from BlizzCon the first year I went. I was really excited. So I brought an extra suitcase with me that was empty just so I could buy like a bunch of stuff at BlizzCon. And then when I got home, I lazily just sort of like half-assedly put it up onto shelves and stuff.
Yeah.
But like really when I got home, I was like, do I really want all this crap? Not really.
Yeah.
It was exciting like at the time, but like now I wish I could just throw it all out. But then I'd feel bad throwing it all out. So it just sits there and collects
It's difficult,
dust.
right? That's obviously something that's close to your heart. It's stuff which means a lot to you, and therefore it's okay, I suppose, to have it on the wall. But then again, what else would you have? You know, what would you put up? What kind of pictures would you hang there?
Well,
would you
moment,
choose some artwork or something?
At the moment, I
pretentious?
have a Barbie poster.
Yeah.
A poster of the movie Tangled, and a framed five blown up versions of stamps with famous trains on them. These are just old things that were in the spare room, and I haven't even moved those.
So where did this picture of stamps come from?
I don't know. Probably one of Mrs.
How
F's
much would you sell that
grandmother's.
for? Because that sounds really interesting to me.
It's like a long portrait
Looking
frame.
for some stuff for the background.
Yeah, it's
Looking for
got
a really particular piece, stamps on a poster?
Yeah, are you a big fan of, say, the Cheltenham Flyer, 29 pence stamp?
Yeah.
Cornish Riviera, 34 pence
The
stamp.
Pencaster Flyer and the Greendale Rocket. Those are some other ones I
They're all
really
in
like
here.
too. Yeah.
So these
Sweet.
don't sound like very old stamps. They're quite. So it's a modern. They're
No,
modern
it's
stamps.
definitely not modern, dude. These are steam
It's like
trains.
steam trains.
Yeah, but it's got 34p. How long has a stamp been that expensive?
How long has a stamp been 17p?
Man,
that's
they're like commemorative as well.
Yeah.
They're not current. Stamps aren't
All right,
like.
Let me tell you, the way on those stamps they have a tiny portrait of the Queen in the corner. She looks super young in the portrait.
Yeah.
So these are old stamps. Like these are probably from the 70s.
You know, they did like over here in Jersey, they did a Superman stamp because the Superman movie that came out, the guy who played Superman is actually from Jersey. So it was like a big deal. Yeah. He came over here with Russell Crowe and
let me remember his
what's-her-face?
name. Is it Henry Cavill? Is that his name?
Something like that, yeah. Anyway, he's from here, so they came over for like the premiere here.
Henry Cavill. Yeah, there he is.
And at the zoo, they got a big like life-size statue of him too. Like,
Yeah, he's from
it's like
Jersey.
he's a pretty big deal over here.
That's right, they
'cause he's
have.
from
That
here.
was so weird.
It's weird, isn't it? Yeah, it's just like a couple of different places. There's just like,
And
oh
there's
yeah,
a
by the way,
gigantic 7-foot tall statue of Henry Cavill.
And did the recent Superman movie actually really do that well or anything?
No,
like it's not.
no.
It's not like it's going to go down in history as like the
It was a
the
bad
best
movie.
Superman movie ever. You know, like I think a lot of people still look back to the old movies and say, yeah, that was Superman.
They really, honestly, DC has done a terrible job with movies. They've done so many movies that they've tried to do from the DC universe that have just been a complete disaster.
Well, I guess they must feel like pretty self-conscious that, like, because Marvel seems to be doing quite well with theirs. Like, they're doing like lots of good movies. They got TV series and stuff as well, and I guess they want to like keep up, but they can't because maybe they just suck a bit. I don't know.
So he's from Jersey, is he? Sorry,
it's all right.
Henry Cavill.
He is. I think.
I didn't even realize that.
So they put.
I guess it makes sense why there's a statue in there.
Yeah.
Now.
So there for some time, like the local stamps had Superman on it.
So if you live in Jersey, do you have to use these on your stamps?
Not anymore. They're long gone now. I think they were replaced with like, I don't know, some sort of like ancient flute or something. You know, like
some other famous person from
garbage
Jersey.
That they, decided to put on a stamp.
Who else is famous from Jersey?
Bergerac.
Yeah, he's pretty famous. Well, he was.
He got his own
He was
stamps.
a pretty big deal. Yeah, he used to have some stamps. Yeah, and they actually had his like car. They had Bergerac's car.
I mean, do you think there's ever going to be a time when you might get some stamps?
No, I think no. There's another guy over here. He's a YouTuber who has been in the paper and everything, and everybody's like, he's like 20 years old. Does like FIFA coin pack stuff or whatever.
Okay.
He's got like, I think he's got like 2 million subs or something now. Like he's done really good.
Oh crap.
But they talk about him like every once in a while. He's in the paper and stuff. So I think he's like the big YouTube guy over here. I don't think
he's gonna have the stamps.
Yeah. And he's perfect for it though, right? He's like 20 years old. He's a young guy. He's full of like piss and vinegar or whatever. I'm just like an old dad. Nobody cares. Nobody wants to see me on a stamp. Like,
you're on the Wikipedia list of people from Jersey.
Am I?
Yeah.
Wow.
You're there. There's a list of people from Jersey on Wikipedia, and you're under other notables. I might add.
Wow.
And you may be the person at the very bottom of the page, but you're on there.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
AKA
amazing.
Yogscast Sips. Gaming commentator and video producer.
The problem is you're right at the bottom. You're right at the bottom, which is a
notable
an
person.
Issue.
Hey, I'll take that. If I'm on a list, at least I'm on a list. I don't care where I am on it.
It's nice to be on a list.
Yeah. You almost sound a bit jealous, Lewis. Like, any lists with you on it anywhere? Or notable people from wherever it is you're from, Reading?
So I was thinking that would be really nice for you to have on your wall of your dad garage would be a blown up picture of stamps with you on them. Collection of
yeah.
You.
Now you're talking.
That would be a badass thing to have.
That would be a pretty badass thing to have, yeah. I don't know, like I'm too lazy to decorate, really. Like when it comes down to it, I don't mind getting stuff or having stuff given to me or whatever and bringing it back. That's not a problem for me. It's when it's here, I don't want to put it up or anything. Like I guess I got other shit to do. Like
maybe you just need to find things that please you though, because Terps, we met Matt Dixon, the Hearthstone card artist guy, and Terps is a big fan, and he bought a autographed piece of his art, of one of his, I can't remember which picture it was, but I think it was like, hello, like the Annoyatron.
Annoyatron, yeah.
Yeah. And so, that's a cool thing, I think, to have a signed picture of a Hearthstone card that you like on the wall or something like that. I think that's something, or something that means something.
Yeah.
Like now we've talked about that piece of art with the stamps on. That's iconic.
Yeah, I think it's weird. Some people really value that kind of stuff. I do not. Like if I got something signed by someone, I wouldn't really care. It's just more junk. Like I don't like having stuff everywhere. Even though I do have stuff everywhere, it just drives me nuts. And like I don't find that stuff important or valuable or sentimental. Like there's a lot of things that like I guess people collect that they like to have or whatever, but I don't know if I'm unique in that sense, but I'm like the kind of guy who goes on vacation, doesn't take pictures and stuff. Like I just find it annoying.
I used to, but I just can't be bothered anymore. Like I used to come back from vacation with like 200 pictures, and now I'll take like 7, and I just can't be bothered. I used to enjoy it, but I'm just like,
I find it just ruins the flow. You're just there, you're enjoying a moment. You see something or whatever, and it's like, quick, get the camera. I was like, oh, what? I have to rummage through a bag and I might miss something or whatever, and I fucking get the camera out and like pictures, you never go back and look at them, or at least I don't. Like I don't just like, oh, it's Sunday, it's raining outside, I'm just gonna put on a bit of Enya and go back through my old picture books, like fuck
you say that Sid, but I know that you've got a picture book for your kids.
That's
and
different.
You take pictures of them all the time.
We don't have big picture books, but we have like a couple of sort of framed
photo albums.
No, they're more like those frames that you put on the wall, and they're like lots of little picture frames in one big frame. Lots of stuff like that, so you can see like, and you might put like a year's worth of select pictures just to see how much they grew like in their first year and stuff like that.
Also, only really the first kid. Like I've hardly taken any pictures of the second kid.
We have a lot of pictures of our daughter, but we haven't.
I don't even know what my second kid looks like.
We're too fucking, we're too snowed under with like parent stuff that we can't send them away to be printed or anything. So it's like, with the first one, it was much easier. We had a little bit more time, but.
Well, this is an issue, a modern issue, isn't it? That we don't take pictures physically anymore. We have to take them on a phone, and then the effort of going and printing those out is kind of a rare.
Well, the phone, the phone camera was amazing because it made it easier for people to take pictures of themselves, which is all they wanted to fucking do in the first place. Realistically,
that's right.
Like that's the nature of people, right? So now. You go on the internet and you see all these people, taking these like perfectly angled pictures of themselves so that you can't see like their big fucking neck beards or like their big fucking love handles and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like it's just, it's really has been perfect for like a lot of people to just start taking pictures of themselves. But like, I'm not even interested in that. I don't want to take a picture of myself. I don't want to take a picture of anyone else. I certainly don't want to take a fucking picture of a building or the sunset or any shit like that. Like, I'm fucking done with cameras and phone cameras. Like, I'm done. If there was a Room 101, if I was on that show where I could put something in there, it would be cameras and phone cameras. Holy crap.
I mean, this is one thing I relatively noticed when my dad came around last Christmas. And so then he was on the live stream. When he was on camera, I realized how old he looked. But because he was my dad, I didn't notice like that he.
Did you take him aside after and have?
He
a
really
quiet
does look
word
very
with him?
old.
Did you take him? Take him aside. Look, if you're going to come on the show, you need to put some makeup on. Dye your hair. Look a little less old.
Yeah, gosh, Jesus.
So do you think I think you look past people sometimes that you never examine them phically necessarily.
Yeah.
Do you want to see a photograph of me?
You don't look
critically.
No.
Do you want to see?
Do you want to see a picture of me? I'll put it in the Discord.
Okay.
Here you go.
Right.
Why are you posting a picture of yourself in Discord?
Look at that.
For God's sakes.
Oh, that's a good one. Holy shit.
Look at this one. Look at this one.
Oh, damn.
So why are you now posting pictures of
These
yourself?
are,
Would you like to describe these pictures, Sid, to an audience?
Oh, so the first one looks like Pyrion Flax has gone back to like a high school reunion, and at the high school reunion they're like, "Hey, we're gonna do something fun, guys. We're gonna do our school pictures again, but now that you're older, it'll be funny." That's what it looks like.
Yeah,
and then the second one looks like he's been interviewed for like Forbes magazine or something, like, because he's just started a business.
So these are two very high quality pictures people have sent us on a white background, and he's wearing a very thick, very lustrous black shirt.
Yeah,
and he's obviously got his black stubble. He's got the black glasses. He's got a little bit of black on sort of around the edge of his head, like a moon rising over the horizon.
Yeah.
And he's got a little bit of a shine on the baldness, as if he's polished up nice.
Yeah.
The glasses are quite clean and shiny.
Yeah.
And you look a little bit like a mouse in the first one, a little bit like a kind of cheeky young little mouse fella.
I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a good picture of you. Like it's a very nice picture, but it's very funny as well.
Do you know what? Yeah. These were taken because for TI, right, for the big Dota event, for anyone who doesn't know, it's like the international. They always say to us, we need pictures of you guys for like the promotional stuff and the talent announcements and stuff. So everyone was sending them these shitty pictures, and I would just go at the last second, be like, oh, fuck, I forgot to send my picture. So I'd take a selfie on my phone and send it to them, and that would be like the official promotional picture of me looking kind of goofy on my phone. So they were like, right, this year we're going to get everyone, we're going to take all these high quality sort of shots of all the talent, and then we can use those in future. So these were the pictures that they got, and they just sent us one saying, oh, if you want to use these for anything, feel free. But I just think it's funny because it's such a high quality picture, but it's like, it's still me looking like a goofy son of a bitch in this picture, big bold dome. It's just, I don't know, I just thought it was funny.
It's a beautiful picture, the first one. It makes you look a lot younger, I think, than you are.
Dude,
I think because
I got ID'd in Sainsbury's last week.
But, wow.
Really?
How?
I walked up, I had some ciders,
How many
I was buying the ciders.
17-year-old bald men are there out there?
But I said to her, like, I didn't have any idea. I just cycled down there in my shorts and I just had the money in my pocket. And I put the cider on the thing.
You bought a Mars bar and a shot and a fucking coffee and a Beano.
Yeah, it's just a Beano, what? So I was buying some cider and she said, do you have any ID? And I said, I'm 40. And she said, you don't look over 25. I said, yeah, I do. Like I said, you know, because she was really young.
Right.
And I said, maybe you just don't know
maybe
what
it's her
people
first
who
day
are
on the
40
job.
look.
You know,
she was quite new, but the other guy at the checkout was just laughing. Like, he's just laughing his head off. And I like turned to him and I said, like, dude, I'm 40. And he was like, just serve him. Like, that was I was like, come on.
Holy shit.
You
like got off
nice.
your mobility scooter and everything. You were like,
shook my cane at him.
One Beano, please. And here's 4 ciders as well that I also want to drink while I read this thing.
I need some caps for my cap gun.
Do you have any pop rocks in the back anywhere?
It's like, this is bizarre.
Yeah.
So the second picture you sent is of you doing a sort of a strange leaning forward and squinting pose.
I was just goofing around.
Did they send you to a local sort of high quality pictures parlor or something?
No. They have lots of really good photographers that work at Valve, and so they just had set up lighting and everything like that, and makeup and all the rest of it, and we had the pictures. But they said, like, I just went up there and smiled, and I was like, okay, done. And they're like, no, like, we want you to move around and pose and take a couple of pictures, and we'll pick the good ones. So I was like, all right. So I just leant forward and did this stupid pose, and they were like, oh, that's great. I was like, no, I was just messing around. They're like, no, that's great. I was like, oh,
Do
okay.
that. Yeah. Do that again.
There's like 3 or 4 of me doing
really
this stupid
weird.
squinty pose. I was like, oh man.
So is there a whole gallery of these? Is there like 50?
No, there's like 3. They chucked a bunch of them in the bin. Obviously, I was like blinking or making a stupid face or something. Stupider face, I should say. But yeah, these are the ones that made the cut.
I don't know what like the deal is with that. Like, I don't know. I've because we did one recently. Last time I was in Bristol, and Harry took our pictures.
Harry,
for
beautiful,
thumbnails.
supple Harry. Yeah.
And I guess it's a way of doing it. But when he got me into the room to take the pictures, they had like all the cameras set up and everything. Like this wasn't like super professional, but you know what I mean. Like it's just pictures for thumbnails sort of thing. And so Harry was like, all right, so we'll just take a normal picture. And then he just started going like really fast. It's like, all right, now you're feeling really sad. Okay, your dog's died. Your wife left you. The car's broken down and stuff. You're really sad. Okay, but now you're happy because it's like went through this whole like thing, this whole range, and it was like
he has this list of like emotions.
Guess like that's kind of a good way of doing it. I don't know like how I came across in any of the pictures sort of thing, but
I see your thumbnails and I like them. They're good.
Oh, thanks, man. I mean, it means a lot. I like having my face plastered on thumbnails like a clown and stuff. That's definitely one of the things I aspired to, when I set off on this great journey of mine through life. And one day that's going to be my clown ass face on a thumbnail, and here I am.
You look great.
Harry's great. Yeah, I saw that. So then he sort of just keeps yelling like all of these like emotions. He's got this long list. You go down. It took about like I don't know. It only took about 5-10 minutes.
But what if you're doing that and you hit like a really raw nerve? Like, he's in a good flow and you're feeling it, you're getting the snaps, you're doing the poses, you're taking the pictures, and he's like, your car's broken down, it's raining out, and you've got AIDS. And you're like, what? It just like triggers you so hard and you start for real like having a fucking breakdown and
he's like, get your shit together, and then you're feeling sexy, and then you take your clothes off, and then you're bending over, and then a man's coming up behind you. Then he gets his dick out.
I'm getting excited here.
And he's looping himself up. I don't know why I'm telling you all this.
Yeah,
It's me. and now I'm fucking you. Oh my god! It's like because you get too into character, and you end up getting raped by Harry.
I friggin' love Harry.
Yeah, well, jeez. I mean, I love him, but not that much. Christ.
I do. I friggin' love him. Yeah, anything goes.
He's a very attractive man.
Anything goes.
Yeah.
He's a good guy, isn't he? He's a really good guy. Fucking, I remember way back when Harry, the first time I ever spoke to Harry was when I first started my YouTube channel. I did not know what I was doing whatsoever, okay? And I used to check every once in a while. You used to be able to send people messages like through your YouTube channel.
Okay.
So there's like an inbox of like, it was almost like comments, but it was like people could just send you stuff privately, you know, like almost like a direct message sort of thing. I don't even know if it still exists now. I went through it and Harry had sent me one. He must have been like 15 years old or something at the time. And he was like, oh, hey, I'm doing arts and graphics at school or whatever, and I can make you a channel banner. And I was like, okay, fine, go for it. Let's see. And then he made it for me, and it was really, really good. It was like the first one I ever used. He had all these references to like games that I'd been playing and stuff. And so I used it. And then I just hear from him every once in a while, and he'd be like, oh, hey, I've got some new ideas for like a new banner and stuff. So like he was just doing like my channel art for me like very early on. And now like we fucking play games with him all the time, and he works for the Yogscast. So.
Yeah, he's great.
Love him to bits. Yeah, we've got some really good guys. And then everyone else is great too.
We got married.
But Harry especially.
He's like, Harry's right up there.
I hate to play favorites, but he's my favorite.
Yeah.
No, everyone's my favorite.
Weak.
I mean, you have to say that you're the boss, but like, people who aren't the boss can totally have favorites, right?
Oh yeah.
And like isolate themselves.
Lewis is my favorite.
Yeah, mine too.
All right, P-Flex.
Hooray for Lewis.
You don't have to relax, guys. So I want to head back to the other thing that was in your room, P-Flex, because you said I have a bed in my room in case I get weary.
Yeah.
And that was a weird thing to say. Does that happen to you? Do you feel like tiredness just coming over you?
I nap every day, dude. Every day.
How do you control that? Because if I go to lie down in a bed,
your eyes.
I'm gonna be gone for hours and hours. And then if I
you set an alarm.
I can't wake up though. That's the problem. I feel terribly groggy.
I'm too groggy and grumpy if I sleep during the day.
Well,
I feel really pissed off when I wake up after a nap during the day.
No, I feel refreshing. Here's the thing. How long are you napping for?
Oh, like
when you nap.
Oh, I don't know.
It's dangerous.
Sometimes.
Yeah, well, that's the problem.
Well, I don't though. I do the typical dad thing where I'll fall asleep like when I'm meant to be, playing with the kids or watching over the kids or something because I just get tired all of a sudden. I'm just like,
What you do
is
you set an alarm for yourself. So I have my phone and I'll set an alarm for 50 minutes to give myself 5 minutes to get to sleep and 45 minutes to sleep. And if you sleep for more than 45 minutes, you will wake up groggy, which is why 45 minutes, they've done research into it. That is the optimal nap amount of time.
Okay.
So I go for 45 minutes. I wake up, I feel a little bit dazed for maybe 30 seconds to a minute, and then I'm good to go for the rest of the day.
Okay.
Otherwise, by 10 o'clock, my eyes are feeling heavy. And I want to be up to a 1 or 2 power gaming, Lewis. I can't be wasting my evenings.
That's
evenings
crazy.
is crucial time.
Yeah, I mean that's something I like because my kids are younger than yours. I don't power game till 1 or 2.
Oh, you got a power game, baby. It's all about it.
Because I'm too wrecked like the next day if I do that.
Yeah,
so like my cutoff is like 11 o'clock. And I go to bed.
That's nice.
Because like I'm pretty tired by then.
I'm good at waking up early in the morning. Like Mrs. F will wake me up sometimes at like 7 or 7:30 or whatever. And last night I went to bed at about 2:10. I can power through until about 1, and then I'll have to have a little nap, and then I'll be good for the rest of the day. So
I mean, if you're getting 5 hours of sleep, like a little nap in the day makes sense. I mean, that's because that's not a heck of a lot.
I mean, first of all, a lot of the world, especially in hot countries, do have a siesta in the afternoon where they take
London is not
an hour out in the hottest part of the day, and it's with climate change, it's going to move upwards.
Well, yeah, there is that. Yeah, we could be finding ourselves in countries where a siesta is not commonplace, all of a sudden becoming a national.
So you might be a trendsetter, P-Flex. Second thing,
you could be. bucking the trend.
Definitely, that. Honestly, P-Flax bucking the trend. That could be the name of your autobiography, right there.
It could be the name of this podcast as well.
Straight bucking.
Bucking.
So the second thing is that my dad,
bucking all night long.
Talking about my dad again, he was over last weekend, and we hung out and walked around. And
can you describe how old he looks again?
It's hard to describe, but you notice it sort of in these certain things. Anyway, he does occasionally just doze off mid-sentence. I mean, he's very
right.
He kind of just.
I mean,
we're sat
I'm
there
not that bad.
having a chat after dinner, and then we look over, and he's like, kind of, sort of, just like sat there asleep. Just perfectly. And you talk to him and he's just like, oh yeah, I was listening, honest. And then he smiles and he knows that he's just like fall asleep.
He's got those sleepy eyes. It's like that knowing smile, like, hey, don't talk to me.
I do put a lot of people to sleep when I talk to them and stuff. It is a thing that I have found in my life that I can do. It's one of my superpowers.
Talk people to sleep.
Yeah, definitely. Just so boring. But he does it all the time. So we're watching some TV or some film or something that he really likes as well, and he's really enjoying it and laughing away. And he'll have a laugh, lean back, and just fall asleep. And then it's like, okay,
I know.
It's kind of that something
people do, right? Old people do, and I think that's when we think about dying and getting old and stuff like that. I've always maintained that when you get past a certain point in your life, like when you're past like 80 years old, for instance, and you're at the point in your life where you're just falling asleep. No matter what, like we always think about, getting old and dying from a younger person's perspective, right? Where we're into things, we don't fall asleep, at the drop of a hat. We can get stuck in, we can power game still, we can do all this stuff.
Yeah.
That is just like, man, I don't want to die. I never want to die. I want to power game forever sort of thing. But when you're like 80 years old, you sit down at your computer and you start power gaming, and 5 minutes into your power gaming session, you're like falling asleep and you don't give a fuck.
Oh, man.
I mean, you know what I mean? I think
that's a nightmare.
I think you accept at that point that, like, you know what? Maybe I'm old and maybe I'm just ready to go.
Oh, my God.
Like, if I'm just going to be fucking falling asleep through everything and I can't even like enjoy stuff anymore because I'm just falling asleep and I'm fucking old and stuff.
I think that you've got to be seriously old before you just start nodding off.
Yeah.
Like all the time. What? Like, I mean, my dad, right? My dad's in his 70s. Like, my memory of him when I was a kid was, he was like this, he's like 6 foot. He's like a, big guy. And I was a little kid and I was like, wow, my dad's awesome and everything. And then my parents got divorced, so I didn't see him. Like, saw him like maybe once a year, and now I see him maybe once every couple of years. And recently, when we've gone to visit him, I've been like, damn, my dad is getting old. Like, he's noticeably getting old. Like, my mum's been old forever, but my dad he seems to be getting older. And I remember one time I went over there and he needed me to help him lift something.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, I can't lift this. And I was like, okay. So I thought
it was
shit, this is going to be heavy.
Bag of
yeah,
pasta.
and it was like not heavy. And I'm like, oh man, he's old. I feel old, but that is like old. But he's still, it's not like he just falls asleep in the middle of a sentence or anything. He's not, he remembers whether he's had breakfast that day.
Yeah.
He's not, it's not that bad. You're only talking late 90s when you really start coming apart at the seams.
It's a tough thing. Yeah, it's that's when your brain starts going at that time. I think the parallel. I think is that past a certain age, you kind of start it's like that film where that guy aged in reverse. What's that film?
Benjamin Button.
Benjamin Button.
Oh yeah, Benjamin Button. Whoops.
One of the Button or Grape movies. Yeah.
What was Gilbert Grape? Does anyone remember? Because why does that
Gilbert
stick
Grape?
out? Yeah.
It had Johnny Depp in it, I think.
Was Johnny Depp Benjamin Button as well?
Was he?
No, that was Brad Pitt.
Did he age somehow in reverse? Anyway, I think that past a certain point, you sort of become a toddler again. Okay, you have to be looked after. You can't be let out. You can't.
Similarities to a toddler, but you don't have the endearing.
You end up. You go to like a nursery. I guess
that's why people put you in a home, because they're like, "Fuck, this isn't like having a toddler at all." It's depressing as shit.
Put your toddler with other toddlers.
Is shitting everywhere.
Everyone puts their toddlers in the same place, and they have to they entertain themselves. I don't think they're going to be hardcore gaming, but it'll be the same sort of games that toddlers play. Simple stuff. I don't think we're going to be
like
in an old folks' home playing Scrabble and Monopoly or whatever. We'll be playing.
You'd be surprised.
Magic the Gathering or
we'll be playing StarCraft. The original StarCraft.
Back to basics. I don't know.
Back to basics, yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, it's an interesting question. So, touching on the Pyrion Flax autobiography, you did actually prepare something for this week's podcast, didn't you?
Yeah. I almost forgot about Bodega.
Is it time?
Oh, man, I think it's time.
Okay, prepare yourself, John.
All right, I'm ready.
So
let me get comfortable.
Right.
Last week we talked about...
Let me recline a little bit. I want to close my eyes and listen to this.
Idea for a great story. Sips is just getting...
I'm laying
he's going to doze off halfway into this.
Yeah.
Okay, hit me.
So P-Flax is prepared. I don't know what prepared some fanfic.
You'll see.
Okay.
Bodega, part uno.
Oh. I'm hoping that this is going to be like Gentleman Broncos.
You'll see. All right.
Okay. Can we just interrupt any time?
Of course,
okay?
no, feel free.
Okay.
As bars go, the Shit Rivet Tavern took sleazy and redefined the word. A trio of Spurlupian strippers outnumbered the lone customer, but ground the pole on stage with real menace regardless.
Hang on a second. Hang on.
Are you masturbating?
No.
Okay, good.
I was clapping.
I'm not quite there yet. I'm getting close, though.
Behind the chrome-top bar, hunched and moodier than a mork beast, Jargel Floop gazed dully at the tiny vid screen embedded in his left forearm. An empty glass slid down the bar, and with honed reflexes unique to a veteran bartender, Floop caught it, filled it, and returned it with gusto without glancing up. It was the 5th pint of ale the human in the corner had swigged, but it was 5 times the business Floop had the previous night, so he wasn't complaining. After a spell, the melancholy was broken when the front doors creaked open. Floop saw 4 figures in desert cloaks, dust masks fastened across their faces, scanning the room from the doorway. Their eyes settled on the human ale swigger at the far end of the bar. They broke formation. 2 sat at tables either side of the door. 1 sat a ways behind the ale swigger, and the 4th approached the bar with all the cockiness of a Krell sleuster. Barkeep, 1 beverage.
I love the random alien names.
It's set in space, right?
It's just like George Lucas 2.0.
Barkeep, 1 beverage. Lady's choice, said the burly interloper, nodding towards one of the Spurlupians who was taking a break from swinging her big old titties.
Oh, shit! Out of nowhere!
The Spurlupian
titties! Oh my god! Fuck me.
Give him 2 fingers of fuck monster, Floop, she slurred.
Oh shit! I'm not ready. I was not prepared.
Floop grinned and poured the black liquor into the traditional phallic drinking vessel and gently pushed it towards the man. Leaning in close, the stranger peeled back his face mask, revealing row after row of razor-sharp, off-world combat teeth.
Oh, yes.
He had no way of knowing Floop was odontophobic, so it really was just one of those weird coincidences typical of a space saloon. Put the chompers away, mister. Can't you see my friend here is odontophobic? Said the ale swigger from the corner. Floop looked stunned. How could this guy have known about his odontophobia? Unless... Bodega, said the tooth guy. Said the tooth guy, grimacing. It is you, Bodega, said Floop, turning. He'd not recognized his old compadre and cursed himself for it. Bodega always had money, and he could have charged 5 skrells for the ales instead of 3. Then it dawned on Floop. If Bodega was here, and these 4 guys were here, it could only mean one thing. There was about to be one flarv of a good fight.
Oh, man.
You're coming with us, Bodega, like it or not, said Chompers, smiling to show off his fancy gnashes. Floop blinked hard. When he opened his eyes less than a second later, the 4 interlopers lay dead, and Bodega sat finishing the last of his ale. His famous lasgun lay smoking atop the chrome bar. Great moons of Shabboth, you ain't lost your touch, boy, exclaimed Floop. And you're still slower than a glorb-worm with the ales, said Bodega, grinning. He played the fight back in his mind. He'd seen the 4 fellows follow him, of course, and had calibrated his lasgun to instantly pierce their Shrovian armor. Just as Chompers had turned to grin at Bodega, he'd taken a shot, refracting the lasgun beam off those shiny dentures to perfectly strike all 3 Goombas right in the heart, killing them instantly. Then, to finish off the leader, he'd simply angled the lasgun beam up off the third incisor in row 5, lower, and turned the leader's brain into Vomanian swamp noodle soup.
Man.
Bodega, said Floop, grinning. Yep, said Bodega, also grinning, but laconically. Bodega, said Floop, still grinning and nodding. Uh-huh, said Bodega. Bodega, said Floop, still grinning. Okay, this was getting weird, so Bodega paid and left. The end.
Magnificent.
Oh, my Lord.
Magnificent, P-Flex. That was...
Oh, that was amazing.
Oh, my God.
That was good.
Thank you so much.
Honestly, I could listen to that for hours. Although
I gotta
you're
readjust
just,
myself.
The amount of aliens that you created, that universe, is so fleshed out already.
Yeah, you know
Man,
it. You can feel it.
Chris Metzen left Blizzard, Flax, and there's an opening for his
Get in
job.
there.
I feel like you could get in there, man. You could be like,
The next
their
Chris
next big
Metzen,
thing.
but
like,
with bad fanfic sci-fi about Bodega.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Holy shit.
So
Man,
good.
that was really good.
Oh.
God, when you told me that you'd written a short story about Bodega, I was really excited. And I thought, I wasn't sure what to expect, but wow.
There you go.
really just
Delivered.
You slammed
Bodega
it home.
style.
Yeah.
Oh, the Spapoopian strippers. What were they?
Spiloopian.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus.
Well, we know
Like,
about the Spiloopian strippers are sassy and they have big old titties.
Oh, man. Yeah, that really
Proper
caught me
rounded
off guard.
characters.
Like, you can
right
tell,
here.
like, did you do any sketches to like sort of flesh them out
No,
a
but
bit?
I look forward to being tweeted pictures of Spiloopian strippers and Bodega.
And Bodega as well. What do you think Bodega looks like?
Well, we'll have to figure out what Bodega looks like. Grizzled.
Yeah, bald.
No, Bodega's a haired man.
He looks like a dad in his 40s.
Does he look like a
from
space dad?
No, not at all. He just looks like he's from like 1950s America.
Jumper dad.
Sort of just
White picket fence dad.
Yeah, white picket fence dad. Yeah, with the plaid shirt and stuff.
Wow,
2.4
your vision
children.
of Bodega is I like it. I kind of want to leave the description of Bodega open so people can
fill it in
perhaps
themselves.
fill in the blanks. Bodega is many things to many people, but he is.
They can represent themselves. They can see themselves in Bodega.
Yeah, maybe Bodega should actually just have a mirror for a face so that he looks like anybody he's presented with. So like if you were staring into Bodega's eyes, actually be staring into your own eyes.
I don't think we can top that. Oh my God. So have you done anything else this week? What have you guys been up to? Have you been anywhere? You done anything?
Man, you know what I've been doing all week? I've just been playing WoW. Like lots and lots of WoW.
We said we weren't going to talk about it.
We said we weren't going to talk about it, but that's all I've been doing. I meant to play some more Fallout. I haven't because I've been playing WoW. I almost got out of bed, but then I played WoW.
Yeah, I've been playing WoW.
Yeah.
What you been doing, P-Flex?
My youngest daughter started school today.
Nice.
So
Today? It's her first day.
So we've been preparing for that.
Is it that classic GIF or image of before and after?
Do you mean GIF?
Where, yeah,
Man,
sorry.
you said GIF. Does that mean we're on the same team
God
now?
damn it. I've switched team. Where the kid looks really excited to go off to school and then just really exhausted and dead when they come home.
Yeah,
just feel overwhelmed
it's great.
by...
That is the beauty
Tires
of
them
school.
right out.
Fuck, it's great.
Is it
Tires them
just...
right
They're
out.
so tired.
Is it just like complete overwhelmed with new information? It's like overload, sensory overload.
And they have to deal with people who don't want to do anything for them.
Right.
Right. So they've got all these kids around them. And kids at school, some of them are friends, but generally speaking, they sort of put up with each other. And they're kind of sweet for a few years, and then eventually they sort of don't like each other very much, I think, because you're forced into a classroom with these people for hours and hours at a time.
Yeah.
Some of them are going to be dicks. You're just not going to like them. They're going to say mean stuff because kids are shits. And so early on, they're sort of like, yeah, I've got all these new friends. And then they gradually like, I don't like that guy. He stole my Lego. And that person threw water on me one time. And that person spilled paint on my drawings. So fuck all those people over there.
Yeah.
And they sort of develop these little cliques and they fall out with each other and stuff. So now she's in the happy stage of school where it's all fun and sweet, but eventually she'll be in the hateful, I wish I was dead stage of school. Let's let her enjoy it while she can.
We've all been there, right?
I fucking hated school.
I mean, anytime I felt like that, I would simply leave and go play Mario Kart
Yeah,
on my
exactly.
Super Nintendo with
Fuck
my
it,
friends.
I'm out of here. Like, we actually
then
built
GoldenEye
a
as well.
little secret room behind the main stage in the main sort of assembly hall of the school. Because they'd put plays and stuff on, and there's like an area behind it for lighting and stuff like that, and like as a storage room. So we had a couple of guys that were the audiovisual. They had a little. This was while we were at school. We were like 15, 16. They had an audiovisual company that they actually ran, and they did AV stuff for like talent contests and things in the area, all local stuff. They've gone on now; it's a bigger business. But at the time, that's what they did, and they knew about this place. Nobody else knew about it, but you needed it when you were setting up AV equipment and doing lighting for stage and stuff at school. So we found this area and we set it up. We played poker in there. We'd sit around chatting and you know, talking shit and everything like that. It was like our little refuge from school. And if we skipped lessons, we'd go hide in there. And one day, one of the teachers came in, Mr. BJ Hawkins.
Nice.
And no, BJ Sanders, sorry. He came in and we were sort of all chatting away and laughing. All of a sudden, he was a big guy. Like, he was ex-army. He was a big guy. And he poked his head in and we were all like, oh my God, we are fucked. Like, BJ has found us. We're in massive trouble. And he just went, oh, you cheeky buggers. And he said, you're not smoking here, are you, boys? And we went, no, sir. And he went, all right, carry on. And that was that. And we were allowed to keep our little
that's nice.
Our little clubhouse. Yeah, it was fucking awesome. It was a happy memory.
I mean, we actually had a smoking section at school, and that's where we hung out all the time.
Wow.
Yeah, we had picnic tables back there and everything. It was like a designated area for smoking.
We didn't get that till college.
Yeah, no, we had that in high school. Like, from the age of 14, we had that
no way.
available. Yeah.
Jesus.
So it was pretty
Did
nice.
a lot of kids smoke in your school? Was that a thing?
Yeah, surprisingly, yeah. It was really busy out there. It was like lots of people out there smoking.
The world has changed.
Yeah, it was, I guess it was just the time or whatever, but yeah, it was fairly popular to smoke back then, I guess. It's like less so now, but I remember like we used to be able to smoke in restaurants back then. We used to be able to smoke in the mall. We used to be able to just walk around the mall.
There used to be a
smoking.
smoking section in McDonald's when I was a kid. Like those little ashtrays.
Yeah.
Remember they'd have the McDonald's M on them. It was like,
that's right.
So,
yeah.
It's in the cinema. If you sat at the back, you could smoke. There was a smoking carriage on trains. You could smoke in the back half of an airplane.
Oh, see, I never had that. I've never been on an airplane where there's smoking.
Yeah, I remember it.
I don't know, maybe like...
Wow. So how did you two both... Because I guess you did smoke, but then you quit Sips, and you smoked and then quit P-Flax, and then you... Because Sips has been talking about getting a vape again lately.
Oh, man.
And getting back onto that crack.
I just want to...
It's great.
I just want to...
So how did you...
I was saying I want to get a vape, but actually I think I just want to do drugs.
What was it? what was the first thing what was it that got you into smoking? Was it the classic peer pressure? Was it that it was cool?
It was.
Was it that all your friends were doing it? What was it?
We started smoking basically when we started drinking when we were small. So it was we had the means.
We were 5.
We had people
drinking
that were able
heavily.
to get like booze and cigarettes for us. So
right.
They were going to go get us booze. So we're like, oh, get us some cigarettes too. We were just like, whatever. We might as well just like get some cigarettes while we're at it. So this was in the summer. We were like, wow, we must have been like 13, 14 years old. These guys got us like a big case of beer, like 24 beers. And some like liquor and stuff as well, and some cigarettes. So we went out into the woods,
did some portage,
and found a place to sit down and camp out. And the first time you smoke cigarettes, you get like those head rushes as well.
Super bad. So really bad.
We sat around fucking spinning to that as well. But that was really just the start of all of high school, basically.
Yeah.
Where all we did.
I can imagine though,
drink and smoke.
That you like Sips always like P-Flax always looks super young. I think you Sips have always looked super old. So I can imagine you cycling down to the local shop, buying a copy of the Beano and a load of cans of cider, and just not being ID'd, not being like no one even like Ed, you're a bit old for the Beano, aren't you? It's like I'm 13. Actually, 13 I think is very old for the Beano.
Yeah, that is.
We did all the pretty typical like growing up stuff, you know, like we dare like one of our friends to go in and buy Playboy. I always buy Mr. Ed Weekly, which is horse porn. So.
Jesus Christ.
Specialist shit.
Yeah,
so it sounds like a pretty typical just teenagers rebelling, listening to.
I think it's like a very
like metal music out in the woods and smoking and drinking.
Yeah, I think at that point, going into high school, we were listening to. I think we were at the time Beastie Boys, like Sabotage and all that had come out. So we were listening to a lot of that kind of stuff.
And, it couldn't be more different to like what Nirvana I was doing at that age.
But then we'd started listening to like hip hop, like early hip hop as well at the time too. So yeah, around like 90, 93, 94 it would have been. So yeah, it's pretty good times. Yeah. But like a nice sort of time to be going to high school and stuff.
And how did you get into it, P-Flex? What was because I mean, when I was that age, when I was 13, I missed the whole thing. I never got into smoking. I never really got into underage.
Is that because you were in the cadets or at boarding school?
I mean, when you're a kid, though, you're at school as well. You're doing so much. You've got different groups of friends. You're doing different things. You're doing all these things that your parents want you to do. You're learning the piano or whatever. You've got so many.
No, but
things
see, that's the big difference between mine and your childhoods. Like my parents didn't expect me to do anything and didn't make me do anything. So all I did was dick around with my friends in the woods and the parks.
me and my friends wouldn't go outside though. We would be trying to get Red Alert 2 multiplayer or StarCraft 2 multiplayer, StarCraft 1 multiplayer, working on the LAN. That's what we would do when we were 13.
Yeah. I mean, I did a bit of that too, but there wasn't heavy emphasis on that. That was like we're inside, we might as well do this now sort of thing. But
I'm trying to think back. I kind of did.
If we weren't like grounded or anything really. Like that.
Like were you in a cool kind of club, a cool group of friends who sort of, it seems to be like the cooler people who ended up smoking. I don't know.
No,
see what I'm saying?
My parents both smoked. My mum quit. My dad quit ages ago. And then when I got to I guess I would have been about 14 or 15, I sort of, people are starting to smoke and stuff like that. And there were lots of girls around and stuff. And you're starting to get into that wanting to be cool stage. I had no cool thing going for me at all. My hair was terrible. Like, even when I had hair, it was awful. Mrs. F always says, I'm glad you went bald because your hair was fucking shocking. So I'm sort of...
What a thing to say. Oh, she's the one when she says something like that.
Yeah, when she says, you look better bald because your hair was shit. So I'm like, okay. So, I look back at pictures of myself there, and it's just a picture of a young man with no idea what's going on top of his head. It just can't... It's out of control. It's like a riot.
It's like Kid and Play.
Yeah, but without that signature coolness, without some of the people going to try and copy, it's just people just notice it. And it's like, that guy's got terrible hair. So,
man, imagine shaping your fro like that, though. That'd be incredible. You must feel so satisfied.
So you have to Google that.
Yeah, good luck Googling that, kids. So then...
What? I Google it right now. Kid and Play. I bet you comes up like Kid... and Play. It's not and. It's
Kid and
just
Play.
the letter N. Kid and Play.
There's the picture.
And we're specifically talking about. There's that fucking
the guy with the tall hair,
tubular fro. Yeah,
the guy everybody remembers. The other guy they could put anybody in that picture and we wouldn't know. You just go, yeah, it could be.
No,
this
he was
guy.
He was in a bunch of stuff.
They're movies. They had movies, Kid and Play and Kid and Play 2, House Party and stuff like that, right?
House Party, that was
a good
great.
movie. There's a lot of sex in that movie. I always thought of them as being kind of. For the kids, but they weren't.
I'm doing a Google image search for Kid and Play, and like just a random Steve Urkel has turned up in the. I'm not sure. I always think of
this has got the same vibe, and Carlton Banks is in there as well.
Yeah, it's that era. But so I just kind of in an effort to. I had a disparate groups of friends. I had my nerdy friends that I played games with and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I had my cooler friends who I hung around with, and my totally uncool friends that I hung around with. And I was just, I was pretty easy going.
Something that is very, very easy to pick up because your parents had smoked, and therefore you'd had a lot of secondhand smoke or whatever already, and you kind of, it was automatically something nice for you.
Yeah.
Was it something you had to it was hard work to get into?
Yeah, it was hard work. I had to really get into it. Like I remember my mum had some old menthols lying around.
Oh yeah, there's menthols. There's always you always got menthols from somebody's mom.
Yeah,
that,
and she had them like
misplaced
in the
or whatever.
It was like in a drawer. I found them. I was like, oh shit, she must have forgotten about these. So I she was out at work. She used to work late a lot. So my sister was in bed, and I was like, I'm gonna fucking smoke a cigarette. So I lit it up, and I immediately got the worst head rush imaginable because I was like, I hit this thing really hard because it's minty, so you can do that.
Yeah, you get that really gross minty taste,
my God.
like in the back of your throat, mingled in with cigarette taste as well.
So bad. But I was like, I'm gonna get good at this shit, and it gave me such a bad head rush. I was literally floored, like I could barely move. I was so dizzy. I was like, oh my God, what have I done? Because I didn't know. This was pre-internet, so you can't Google anything. You're just on your own in the living room.
Just think I'm dying.
Yeah, I was like, oh my God, and they're poisoned or something. So then I was okay, and I was like, maybe I need to persist with this and get better at it. So I kind of just started smoking. Then my mum saw me smoking around the back of the house, and she was like, "He's smoking," and my sister was like super impressed. So I was like, "Yeah, this is cool. I'm definitely."
We had like my mum like got this big can that she put on the front step so that when people came over, if they smoked, like there wouldn't be butts all over the place.
Nice.
And this just can was just filled with like disgusting cigarette butts. Like my mom didn't like that we smoked, but she knew that we were just going to anyway, sort of thing. So she was just like, whatever. Just get a fucking can, I guess, and
they stink though. Like they stink.
They really do. Yeah.
Do you dread the day when you're gonna have to deal with the baby versions of you? And
nah,
not really.
You know,
I did it
because it's a lot of it's so harmless. Like there's so much like emphasis placed on it, but like people are just gonna do whatever they're gonna do. Like it doesn't really matter.
Why would I tell them you're not allowed to do the stupid shit I did that in the end turned out to be harmless? Like I'm not saying that I want them to do like anything ridiculous, but most of that stuff that seems rebellious when you're a kid is really stupid. When you look back in hindsight, it's like, geez, that was like nobody was impressed. It was just ridiculous.
Yeah.
But it is actually, if you're walking around smoking to other 15-year-olds who are not smoking and haven't yet got to, because that's only like, that's not that, I mean, you're still a kid, right? No offense to any 15-year-olds out there, but you really are. So when you're impressed, so-and-so smokes.
Yeah.
And I remember the hard kids at school would be smoking at like 12, and I'm thinking, fuck me, they're hard. They smoke. Like that was such a big thing. So I don't know.
It was such an easy in to like to talk to people and meet new people though, right? Like if you bumped into somebody that you recognize from school that you'd never spoken to before and they're smoking, you could just go up to them and be like, "Oh, hey, do you have an extra cigarette?" and then just start talking to them.
Sociable.
It's like such an easy in with people.
It's like drinking before you're allowed to drink, or before getting booze is easy.
I think it still is that. It still is this very social thing where you meet other smokers, and I think that's one of the things Tom told me about why he likes smoking, because you end up just stood outside somewhere, talk to someone else.
Yeah, talking to people,
You have no idea about the smoking culture like that goes on at workplaces, because you get to know all the other smokers when you go outside for the smoke break, and you have like a separate little office sort of clique going on that doesn't exist for all the non-smokers, and you all shit talk each other and everything. So it's like it's a fun little
Adrian
and
thing. Tom and Harry have got that going.
The
doubt.
smokers club.
Do they all go really quiet when you step outside? Like you open the door to come outside and it's like just stone quiet. Like, you guys ever talk to each other while you're out here? Hey, Lewis. Yeah. Sometimes, not always though.
That's exactly what it's like, Sips. Yeah. So when did you quit? What was it that made you quit eventually, and how hard was it?
Having kids made me quit because I didn't want to get the secondhand smoke and stuff on the babies, and it was easy. I just stopped because I had a really strong motivator. And then it wasn't until a friend of mine came around with a vape and was like, "You should try this. This is great." And I was like, "Oh, this is amazing. I can smoke in the house. It doesn't smell. There's no secondhand smoke." I was like, "This is it. I'm hooked." And so, that was that. Yeah. So Vape Dad was born.
I think I stopped when I was like 20 or 21. I think I just got sick of it because I just felt like shit all the time.
Yeah, it is so bad. Like when you quit,
it really
you notice,
is. Like you get sick all the time when you smoke.
Yeah,
as well.
Like colds and stuff.
Always got a cold. Like it's and in the end,
it goes straight to your chest every time.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
I got pneumonia like when I was like 18 or something. And I think it was just from smoking.
Yeah, it's really fucking bad.
It's pretty brutal. Yeah.
Like that's how like when people say vaping is as bad as smoking, or it could be and stuff. I having been a smoker for a long time, I know this is not as bad for me. I know it's not good for me, but I know it's nowhere near. I feel nowhere near as bad as I did when I was smoking.
I think it's weird though, because if you have smoked, you always feel compelled to smoke in social situations, especially like where there's alcohol. So like if I go to a party or something and somebody's smoking, like I'll smoke then. Even now I will sometimes, but like in my day-to-day life, I don't, sort of thing. It's weird. I don't know.
That's the thing
I guess you're sort of like addicted for life.
You'll never get rid of it.
You never leave it. It's like a bad habit.
But at the same time, I think the body is very, very good at healing you back up, but very good at replacing and
flushing you out.
There's certainly some evidence to show that if you do quit smoking early enough, it doesn't have any major impactors on your life.
I heard it takes 10 years to heal the damage done by regular smoking. That's what I heard.
Probably something along those lines, isn't it? That sounds it's like the amount of time it takes chewing gum to go through your body.
I don't know if they did this over here, but like, when they started banning smoking in public places and restaurants and stuff in Canada, there was like this big push to sort of get people to stop smoking.
Right.
And what they started doing is on packs of cigarettes, they'd put like these health warnings, say like, smoking can kill you, smoking causes cancer and stuff like that. And then they had those for a couple of years. And then they went a step further after that. And they started putting pictures of like people's teeth after like they've been smoking for a long time, pictures of like their lungs after they've been smoking. And like some of these pictures were fucking gross. Like, it'd just be like this mouth of like black teeth with like blood everywhere and stuff. And
because I'm sure
I don't
they
know.
do.
Like,
right?
I mean, I haven't lived there for a while now, so I have no idea.
A thing I used to see on cigarette
when
packets,
I was there,
I think they've stopped it because it was just gruesome. Yeah, it was just too much.
I don't know. It's like it's a little bit too much. Yeah, but. I'm not sure like how well it worked. Like I just remember we'd be at somebody's house and there'd just be packs of cigarettes everywhere with these fucking gruesome pictures, and nobody would even like blink an eye. Like it almost just became like it doesn't register as a picture. It almost just looks like that sort of part of the artwork of the pack of cigarettes sort of thing. Like it's really weird.
When it comes to vaping, it's got to be difficult because we don't really have a huge amount of evidence, to what it looks like after 50 years. We've got pretty good evidence to show what happens to you if you smoke for 50 years because people have been doing it for hundreds of years, whereas vaping's quite a new thing.
And what I like now too? Cigars. I never really used to like them, but like
right.
if I have the opportunity to smoke a cigar, like I will. I don't know why. It's just fun to smoke a cigar.
It is. I think it's just got a fun attachment to it. It's like it's like something Bodega might do.
Yeah. Bodega, you could imagine just like slamming out a big stogie, just like letting it burn right down, but just like playing with it in his teeth.
Yeah, just looking over down the end of his nose towards, with his dark eyes hooded towards that Spablupian who's just come in. He's eyeing him up.
Yeah,
looking for a fight.
Yeah, and he wants a pint of finger fuck but Bodega's like, no way, not on my watch.
That was so magnificent.
Teeth with lasers.
Thank you. I'm still reeling from that.
We'll do a part dos.
Oh, I can't wait. Oh, and then we'll assemble them all. I think we should see. It's like old school sci-fi used to be serialized in these magazines. Stories.
Short stories.
And then they put them all together into a book eventually. So if we keep,
I mean, there's enough there, Flax, where we could totally expand on it and make a game and everything. Like it's so good.
Game, maybe a movie franchise, Netflix original series, the whole thing.
Yeah.
Let's not think about that.
Like Bodega bed sheets and a duvet cover, lunchbox and stuff.
Okay, let's just take it one step at a time here, guys. We just need to get into the second chapter first. And
people might hate Bodega. You never know. The whole Reddit thread might be, fuck this Bodega guy, this is the worst thing. This sci-fi is the worst I've ever read, and it's a mockery. It's a mockery of sci-fi. It's like bad TNG episodes.
Nah, I thought it was really good. Before we leave as well, we finished our second games of Hearts of Iron 4. Finally. It took forever. It was fun. But we're planning another one, aren't we?
Yeah. Oh yeah, we want some suggestions from you out there for what
I read
kind
a
of
suggestion.
Trifecta. Yeah. Okay.
I read a suggestion, and I don't know if you guys would be up for it, but it might be interesting if one of us was Comintern, one of us was Axis, and one of us was Allies. But we just started at completely different, just whatever you want to do, but you have to commit to being that way aligned or whatever. And then just see where the game goes, sort of thing. Yeah. Could be fun as well.
We might knock each other out of the war.
Maybe.
I do like playing together, though. We'll see.
It is fun to play together. But, I mean, maybe if we play together again, we should take countries that aren't close together. You know what I mean? So that we have to sort of like fight our own corner and then slowly link up.
Yeah, maybe.
That might be fun.
Yeah, that might be fun. Yeah.
So we finished recording that yesterday. It won't be on Team Double Dragon for a little while, actually, because we've got a lot of WoW Legion going out, and also the editors are really, really busy, and we're going away and stuff. So this podcast is a bit flaky, but I think will be. I'm not sure I will be able to do one next week because I'm going to go to EGX, but we might be able to record it on a different morning.
Yeah,
we're very busy. So yeah, thank you for listening to this podcast and supporting it, guys. It's
cheers.
Yeah, thanks.
Appreciate it.
It's really nice. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.